This is not for hunting. A short barrel, semi-automatic 50 caliber weapon like this is not made for hunting, and it seems to be extremely effective at what it's not advertised to do. Right side target. .588 velocity on that last shot. Pretty decent grouping there, not too terribly bad. First shot was a little bit off. I definitely think I jerked that one, but this is pretty decent grouping. 235 grain, 25 yards, not terrible. All right, magazine number 2. I do not have a trigger reset. Why is my trigger not reset at this moment? Did it break? All right, guys, so very interesting to go ahead and see. Not only am I experiencing my first malfunction, right, a failure to reset on that trigger there, but I'm also seeing that at 548 feet per second, we're not getting the best ballistic as far as long distance downrange. This is I'm hitting the ground before 100 yards. I'm gonna go with the top right diamond and see if I can hit the berm behind the target with that higher impact. Sure, it still works too. What is that trigger thing? So decent. We dumped the rest of those rounds, 538 feet per second velocity at 2,600 PSI left on the reservoir. Not too bad. Not too bad. I wish I was getting better velocity. Some people are telling me that this gun is making a lower velocity than they are seeing with their rifles, but I can't, I'm not a magician, right? I can only work with what I'm given here, and this is what I'm given. 538 on that velocity. Just to go ahead and quickly show you guys, this is the pressure. That is the pressure right there. Now the second ammunition I want to go ahead and give you guys today is 210 grain hollow skirt stuff, also from Jim at Texoma Precision Pellets. Do I not have a pocket knife on me? What a fail would that be if I didn't have a pocket knife? Smith & Wesson. Very sharp. 210 grains, got about 1 minute to get loaded back up. I think we can do it. So even though we did experience our first malfunction with this thing, I don't necessarily think that it's in any way an unreliable gun, right? Even firearms have jams, and to have gone through over 100 rounds at this point with 2 different filming sessions and have this be the very first trigger reset that failed, I think it's pretty good odds. Now, obviously, with a very short barrel and 50 caliber, we're not really expecting single MOA groups, but it's pretty good, pretty solid, pretty usable. This is not for hunting. A short barrel, semi-automatic 50 caliber weapon like this is not made for hunting, and it seems to be extremely effective at what it's not advertised to do. All right, guys, well, I'll top back up to about 3,800, 3,900 PSI, so a very nominal fill. And based on the velocities that I'm reading on the chronograph, it's actually extremely consistent as far as what I've been seeing throughout the entirety of my testing. I'll go ahead and move over to these 210 grain hollow skirt slugs. God, the wind just picked up out of nowhere. We'll see if that affects it. But it's only 25 yards with a 200 plus grain projectile. Shouldn't be too terrible. Let's see what we can do. I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't had a lot of real good luck with hollow skirt stuff. Center, right side. Wow. Wow, that is horrible. 618. Better. 614. Okay. 611. Okay. 597. Okay. 598. Not really as super consistent as I saw the 235s acting for me. The 35 dish base did do fairly well, and I was getting very usable defensive groups out of that ammunition. I'm gonna go ahead and just damn. I feel like I have to just go ahead and really sink into the bench, drop this lower tank here on the concrete bench itself, and try as hard as I can on that left side target, because I'm just not happy with that right one. Now, before I even take the shot, I know it's very anticlimactic, right? Very anticlimactic. But in the same sense, this is nothing to take away from the ammunition or the ammunition maker. Some slugs just don't like some specific barrels. Some slug designs don't work well with some guns. You're gonna have to go through it and figure it out what works for your barrel and your rifle. But for me, I have seen, at least with the first magazine, better accuracy with the 235. Really just sink down into it. Okay, 597, 592, 590, 580, way off, 576, 566. I think that the only thing that I can really do to validate and drive this point home, even though it is the cost of extra rounds and even though it is the cost of extra ammunition, before we move to the 50-yard mark, I do want to go ahead and redo this test with the 235 with the lower tank resting on bench. Because I mean, I'm here to give you guys the best data possible, right? I'll go ahead and cover up that right side picture and then hit it with the 235s and see what we see. All right, let's do it. .595. .578. .579. 571. 568. 570. So not only are we getting extremely consistent FPS, but also my accuracy is worlds above that which we have on the left side. It's a direct comparative. The left side is the absolute last group that I did with the 210 grain. These 235s are on the right. Bottom left diamond, right side target. .554. 551. 548. 553. 541. 538. So not only are we consuming a very consistent amount of air across each magazine set that we dump down there, I'm starting off just about 600 plus and I'm ending up right around 535, 2 magazines into it. I think that this is going to be considered, in my own opinion, to be a reliable and predictable 25-yard accurate machine so far.